Right, we should be live right about now. Take it away.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the AOR F1 2013 League with myself, xMattyG, and in the commentary box with me is of course Fisi Fan 91. It's the Indian Grand Prix and I need to go and mute the Twitch stream because I'm hearing myself twice. Okay, fantastic. So welcome guys to the Indian Grand Prix. Only a few races left remaining of this AOR F1 2013 season. Martin starting to streak away in this championship. Can he take another step forward of actually securing his first AOR title? It's yet to be seen, but if he can win here, Fizzy, then it's looking pretty good for him.
It is indeed. Yeah, hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in again for the Indian Grand Prix. It feels like it's been a long time, even though we've only been away for 1 week. But yeah, as you can see, the drivers are already on the track to start their laps, and yeah, important for Martin to keep the gap to Limitless. So 35 points between Martin and Limitless at the top of the championship. So yeah, a pretty comfortable lead for Martin at the moment, but you never know with Limitless and with Codemasters games and disconnections or whatever. Anything can happen really, even though there's only 5 races to go. So I'm not gonna go through what happened last time, seeing as drivers are on track. I'll do that at some point when people aren't on track driving. As we can see now, Broja coming towards the end of his first flying lap. So, Matty, take us through the sector times, if you will.
Okay, so first I just want to point out that I have a seriously bad cough, so if I just fall off the face of the earth, that's because I'm coughing. But anyway, Martin has set the first flying lap of this session of 1:23.643, which is not setting the world alight in the slightest. In fact, Unleashed with a huge middle sector has set the timing screens alive and actually has gone into the pits, so I'm assuming he must have corner cut. So Martin's the only person to have set laps so far. Limitless has in fact gone into the pits as well, despite setting the fastest first sector of anybody. And right now, Yi actually displacing Martin at the top of the timesheets, but there's only 2 people who actually set a time by 13 thousandths of a second quicker than Martin. So Yi also on a 23.6, making up the time in that last sector, it seems. Leobok filtering in 3rd place with a 1:24.4. And we've also got NLR Evo on a 23.6. So Fizzy, we've got 4 people that have set as lap times so far, and 3 of them on a 23.6.
Yeah, very interesting. Quite a few who were bored of their lap then. As you said, only 4 times on the board so far. So as most people are now either in the pits or on their out lap again, I will go through what happened last time at Suzuka quickly. Because it's been a couple of weeks since we were there, so most people maybe have forgotten. So if those of you who were there probably remember NLR Evo taking a bit of a surprise victory around Suzuka, holding off the pressure from the 2 championship contenders, Martin and Limitless, who finished 2nd and 3rd, and then Broja not too far behind either. It was a 4-way scrap for the win in that race, a very good race as well. Unleashed were the best of the rest there, quite lonely in 5th, and for the championship then, this did, like I said, Martin with a 35-point gap ahead of Limitless. Broja kind of completely by himself there in 3rd, seems to have that secured unless something drastic happens. Leobot not too far ahead though, of Unleashed in the battle of 4th. Yi also in with a shout to that. NLR Evo, Yi's teammate, they're in 7th, and there's yeah, definitely closer in the mid-pack than at the top. And then a quick look at the team championship as well. Caterham and Marussia, the 2 dominant forces of Martin and Limitless's teams, with the Martin's team Caterham leading the Marussia. Mercedes though and Williams quite close in that battle for 3rd in that particular championship. So then, now Matt, hopefully some more cars will be out on track again.
Thank you very much, Fizzy. So the 4 people that have set a lap time are in the pits at the moment, so they'll be coming out for another outlap pretty soonish. I'm just going to put a tweet out saying that we're streaming the AOR F1 League right now on twitch.tv/xMattyG. If you guys who are watching could retweet that, I will thank a few of you that I see on that retweet list when we get a break. But anyway, so I've done that, so go and retweet that. Fizzy Fan, I'm expecting you to be the first one, as per usual, to go and retweet. Oh, of course. Apex Online Racing, actually, which I'm assuming is you.
Me.
So, yeah.
I'll just do them both.
Either way, let's have a look and see what is going on. I'm assuming the guys that abandon their lap are on flying laps right now, Fizzy. It seems that
certainly a few of them are. Unleashed that's who I'm watching.
Yeah, where is Unleashed on the track at the moment?
He's coming to the end of the big straight towards turn 4. He's got a car ahead of him though, at Caterham, but he moves out of the way. I'm not sure whether that was Lester or Martin, doesn't really matter. Unleashed carries on his way.
Poor first sector from Unleashed, so that's not going to put him anywhere near with that kind of first sector, unfortunately. About 6/10 off the fastest of the session so far. We haven't seen anyone else come up just yet. Broshek, is he on a flying lap in the middle sector at the moment, Fizzy?
Absolutely no idea.
Yes, he is. He's just gone through the middle sector now, actually. And Broshek may well be someone to look for, Fizzy, as I think if he is on a good last sector, which isn't that long, and it's actually the shortest of the lap, he could well take pole.
Here we go then, yeah, he only has the final corner to go now. Takes a wide entry because he's going back in the pits, so that's interesting.
Oh, well, that's a shame. Either way,
Unleashed, though,
Unleashed has actually set the fastest middle sector of anybody so far once again.
Now.
And with that first sector, I mean, he could have easily gone on pole position. He set the fastest middle sector of anybody once again. Limitless puts himself in 4th place with a 23.7. This is a very close qualifying session, but the sector times seem to be fluctuating quite a lot with the fact that Unleashed 3/10 quicker than Yi's middle sector, but then having such a poor first sector. So really is a lot of time up for grabs at the moment for these drivers. And very interesting to see Broshek going into the pits despite doing a pretty good middle sector.
Yeah, obviously joined him quite late in the final sector, so I don't know if he messed up that very fast left-right chicane, possibly. That is quite tricky at the start of the 3rd sector. Last F1 though, he completes the lap. He's currently sitting P6. Let's see if I can get on board with someone else who is on a flyer. Okay, Block's just crossed the line. He's 8th at the moment out of the 10 drivers that are here today. Worth mentioning, I guess.
Martin's on a lap, sorry, Fizzy. Martin's on a reasonable first sector, so he should be in the middle sector at some point at the moment.
Yep, here we go.
And he's done a 22.2, which is 3/10 off what Unleashed has done in that middle sector. So that does beg the question whether or not that was actually clean from Unleashed or not. But Martin with a 22.2 in that middle sector, not setting the world alight. However, 2 green sectors show that he could, and he only has to improve by 13,000 of a second to take provisional pole.
Oh, he's just stopped his car just before the finish line. That's weird. And then so I'm guessing we're about to see a retirement, so maybe for Martin. He's P2.
Well, I wouldn't expect so because he didn't
I'm
improve.
not pretty sure. It just looked like it was stopping to. But now he's carrying on though around the first corner.
Sorry, Fizzy, might be worth looking at Yi now, who sets a 21.9 in that middle sector, 3/10 quicker than Martin's middle sector, and Yi may well look to actually extend his gap in front. He's in P1.
God.
He has improved. 23.408. Yi improves and extends his gap at the top. He's in P1, Fizzy. God's sake. It's so easy to find P1. You press B and then you press spectate again. Anyway, Yi takes... Well, he doesn't take pole. He extends his gap out in front to just over 2/10 with a 1:23.408. Does not retire, in fact. So it shows that maybe even he thinks he can improve even more. NLR Evo now putting himself in 2nd place with a very quick last sector. Middle sector, a lot of time to be found there as well for NLR Evo. Only just over a 10th off pole and 3/10 off in that middle sector.
Yeah, very interesting. Williams 1-2 on the grid as it stands. And I think Martin's on an in-lap since he started it very slowly, as we saw.
Here's Broshek on a lap. Fizzy's in 9th place at the moment.
I'll try to find him. He's seems to be on a lap, yeah. He's grabbing some cheeky slipstream off of, I believe that's NLR's Evo slow-moving car on the straight there.
Whereabouts is
wide
first
open.
sector?
He's just come towards turn 4. He's about to cross the first sector split around about now, possibly.
Yeah, it's nothing special from Broshek. So it's 40.5, which is still reasonable, and he hasn't actually set a lap time at the moment. So Broshek, this may well be his last opportunity, actually, Fizzy, to get a lap in.
Yeah, it's less than 5 minutes to go. Slight track extend there through the fast right left.
It straight away. He should be able to get one more, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, someone sends me a message, probably someone watching the stream, wanting his game tag to appear on the coverage because I forgot to put myself too busy. As Broshek now into the final sector. Yeah, oh fuck, I need to hurry and do that after. But yeah, Broshek will abandon this one because he still hasn't got a time, and he does finish his lap. K-Block retires from the race. Broshek just need to get on the throttle towards the line here, and he goes P1! Unbelievable!
23.261. Broshek once again coming out the blocks. The reigning AOR Formula 1 champion. God, I love saying that far too much for my liking. But takes pole position with a 123.261. And that is, well, just over a 10th faster than Yi. And he's retired as well, which shows that he thinks that is a pretty damn good lap.
Yeah. And now I guess we need to focus on Limitless then. He's just starting his lap now.
Yeah, they're kind of in the mid pack again, which is kind of Boy, if they do start 4th and 5th, that's going to cause some serious carnage into turns 1 and 3. And they're going to have to be very careful of the guys behind and in front to make sure that they get through unscathed.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to follow Limitless on this lap. I think he said on Twitter he's only done like 10 laps of practice, which is probably quite a bit less than he usually does for a league race in this game.
Been online for 2 days, apparently.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. And Martin hadn't been online for 2 days on Xbox, so yeah, I don't know if people have just been slacking a bit, or if they're just. I don't know. I don't think Limitless given up on his championship hopes, but I think he's recognizing that he's got a bit of a tough task and he needs something quite out of the ordinary possibly to happen to Martin for him to close that gap substantially, as he's now come through the first sector split mass. Back in the start of sector 2 also very nicely.
4.67. It's fast. It's about a tenth faster than Brochette through that first sector, but the middle sector is where Brochette made a lot of time up. So I will be able to watch and see the middle sector for Limitless. Lest F1 does a very good first sector as well. Limitless 2/10 off in that middle sector to Brochette, but if he continues the way he is, he could well put himself, I would say, 3rd place with a good middle last sector.
Yeah, he's got 2 corners to go, but he half spins off the curb on the penultimate corner. That would have lost him quite a bit of time, I think. Certainly exit speed out of that corner. Not the way he would have wanted that, and he doesn't improve his time, I think, purely because of that curb trying to throw him off the track. He managed to save it nicely, but definitely cost him too much time to improve.
It's the P5 for Limitless. Lest F1 retires from the race after a good first sector. Sorry, Orbit Pride on a very mediocre lap as well, unless that is his lap that he's come into the pits from. But Martin has done a pretty good first sector. Nothing, setting the world alight, but still quicker than Brochette's first sector. Because Brochette's first sector really wasn't that great. It was the middle, as I say, and last sector where he made the time up. So Martin now, it's going to be interesting to see what he can set through this middle sector. There doesn't seem to be many people left in this session that are going to be on fast laps. There's obviously only got 10 runners for this race, and Martin through the middle sector. It's not very quick. It's not going to challenge pole by any stretch of the imagination. However, if he gets a good last sector, and he could put himself on the he could put himself in 3rd place and displace NLR Evo.
Yeah, hasn't looked like the best final sector either, to be honest. He missed the apex slightly for the first part of the left-right fast chicane. Now coming towards the line, so let's see. He does not improve his position. It's still P4.
He did improve actually, Fisi, but by a very small margin, and didn't actually improve on his position, unfortunately. Yeah. But we have now got Yi and Evo both on laps as well. We've got Evo that's done a pretty good first sector, just over a tenth quicker than Brochette once again. And Evo definitely put himself in the mix. If he can get a good middle sector in, Evo could well challenge for pole. But, oh my lord, Yi's middle sector has gone purple. 21.889 in that middle sector. That is the fastest we've seen of the entire session, and I cannot believe he has even set that kind of time. But either way, Yi could definitely challenge for pole here, Busy.
Yeah, here we go, round the final corner. Nice wide exit, easily early, on the throttle there towards the line, and he does not go pole. He's still P2.
48 thousandths off pole was Yi.
Wow.
So close between Brochette and Yi, and NLR Evo does improve as well, but does not improve on his position. And Leobot on no kind of... Well, actually...
Oh, my.
He might well... No, actually, I don't think he will be able to improve with that middle sector. But unless he gets a really good last sector, Leobot, I don't think he's going to improve in 7th place. And that's it for the session, I think.
Yeah, I think Leobot is probably frustrated with how his early part of this lap has gone, because he definitely didn't improve and also track extended a few times out of frustration there in the final sector. So here is the qualifying result. We got Brochette on pole after being frustrated with what happened at the start in Suzuka. Now he's back on pole. Yi and Evo, Williams 2nd and 3rd. Orbit Pride, a good 4th for him. And then the championship contenders in 5th and 6th. Martin had a Limitless. And Lees Leobot, Les F1 and K Block rounding up the 10-man grid. So everyone who finishes the race here today will actually score points. We got, I don't know, did I mention this? I don't know if I did, but Jason, Rio Harriento and Foxside are absent from this race.
Well, thank you for mentioning it now, even if you may have mentioned it earlier. I cannot remember either way, but wow, well, what a mixed up grid. And well, this is maybe what Limitless wanted, in the sense of, people displacing Martin from the front row of the grid at least, but Limitless not managing to actually get himself on the front of the grid either, and find themselves in 4th and 5th respectively. So these two have got a task on their hands, and one of them could easily get caught up in something. And, well, you never know, because, we could easily have a 25-point swing either way if one of them wins and the other one gets blown up into a wall. We never know with league racing, do we, Fizzy? Especially for you round Hungary.
Oh no, yeah. Don't remind me about me around Hungary, causing the first ever safety car in the league, as some people might remember. Hopefully none of you do though.
Brilliant, yeah.
So what I was gonna check actually, do you remember what the pole time was for Brochek there?
It was a 0.2, 23.2.
So
I'm pretty sure it's a high 22 we've seen before.
That is a great time. No, actually, the fastest ever pole time on this game here was Tyrrell Rosberg in Season 8 with a 23.1.
Oh, really? Oh,
And
right.
on that occasion, second place was 4 tenths behind him, which was Limitless on a 0.5 and the Martin on a 0.6. And then in Season 7, surprisingly, Noble's pole time then was a 23.7, which seems a bit slow, compared to what people did on now.
So the race is about to begin. We've got 10 seconds left before we get the Indian Grand Prix underway. Get your predictions in the chat right now. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to be in the top 3? Be interesting to see. My predictions are going to be that I reckon NLR Evo is going to get 2 on the trot. That's what I'm going to say right here. And I'm going to say Limitless is going to get 2nd and Brochek 3rd.
Interesting.
What's your predictions, Fisi?
You're predicting Martin out of the podium.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I'm predicting a bottle job.
Yeah, you never know. Martin, maybe.
Right, we'll get your prediction in a minute, because what I'm going to say now is it's race time. It's the Indian Grand Prix. It's xMattyG and FisiFan91 commentating for you today. No % chance of rain as far as I'm aware. I didn't actually look at the weather prediction, but either way, the lights are about to come on now, and we have got 5 lights waiting. Here they come now. Charlie Whiting has started the sequence for this AOR F1 2013 Indian Grand Prix, and the lights are out and away we go. The drivers steaming towards turn 1 now, and pretty good retiring from me. Brochek now coming towards turn 1. We've got the 2 Williams drivers. Is it going to be clean into turn 1? It looks like it. There's only 10 drivers, so let's hope so. And it looks pretty nice indeed. We've got Limitless taking the inside line into turn 3 there, it seems. Martin going quite wide by the looks of things as well. And I think Limitless and Martin are going to be side by side going down towards turn 4, Fisi.
They are indeed. I'm on board with Brochek, still looking back as he's been challenged for the lead as well by, that must be Yi, I would assume, because he started in 2nd. So
Yes, indeed, yeah.
A better position. Brochek defending the inside line nicely, hitting the apex. Yi, though, trying to get a better exit, and they're going to be side by side still. Bit of wheel banging back there with Obit Pride going past Evo for 3rd as well. Just behind him, Brochek hangs on the straight, managed to get his speed up and defend from Yi there. And Martin ahead of Limitless still, as I'm seeing back there, as Limitless' car, for me anyway, is lagging a bit. I don't know about you.
No, not for me, Fisi, no.
Okay, that's good. Hopefully that's a connection on my end rather than Limitless's, because we don't want to see him getting disconnected again, of course. Brochek, though, streaming away in front now, so that's a good start for him. And as you say, no contact on the first corner and the first few corners. It's also nice to see.
Yeah, fantastic. So we haven't seen any cars, well, looking at the minimap anyway, they all seem pretty much line astern, as we've got a Sauber running very wide through the penultimate corner, which is going to give Evo an opportunity to look round the outside and then maybe potentially get an undercut, but it's kind of understeered there, so he couldn't get on the power as quickly as he would have liked as we start lap 2. Brochek in the lead ahead of Yi.
Oh God.
We've got a Sauber going very wide again into turn 1 with NLR Evo trying to... Oh, here comes Martin out of nowhere, diving up the inside into P3, and Limitless is down to P7, is that? 4, 5, 6, no, 8, he's in P8.
8, yeah.
So Limitless must have had some sort of issues. Martin, the championship leader, now defending from the Sauber, and it looks like they're going to be side by side going down towards turn 4. Orbit Pride taking the inside line, and Martin cannot defend it despite there being absolutely no DRS. Martin going very wide and actually maintaining the position. Fantastic.
Oh, there's 3 wide back here.
There. Oh wow, 3 wide down there for P5, and Limitless, who's gone from 8th now all the way up to P5, is now going to be side by side with NLR Evo, I believe that is, and actually gets pushed wide slightly. NLR Evo then cutting the corner very, very horrifically there. I'm going to use the word horrifically. And right now, the front 2 are getting away with everybody else scrapping.
Yeah, I think Evo just completely messed up his line through those 2 corners when defending from Limitless. Forced him slightly off the track there, even though Limitless wasn't completely alongside, but would have been wanting to receive a bit more room, as Limitless now completely screwing up his line there, although he didn't lose any speed over the curb. And he's got the 2 Torossos just behind him. Oh, that's a Torosso and a Red Bull, actually. So yeah, very interested to know what happened to Limitless there on the first lap, because as you said, down to 8th he was for a brief moment though, got a couple of positions back now. But he's got he's got 2 cars between himself and Martin, and this is what we've been seeing in the last 2 races as well, where Martin have managed to get a few cars between himself and Limitless and never look back. Limitless has not been able to catch him later in the race when that has happened. So
challenge for the lead, Fisi. We've got Brochek and Yi. Yi's actually going to take the lead with DRS, but Brochek looking at the inside into turn 4 maintains the lead. Great racing by these two. And Yi, obviously notoriously known for his instance across the season. But right now, Brochek and Yi having some good battling at the moment for the lead of this race. However, if they start battling hard, where Brochek and Yi both corner cut that corner absolutely just Peggy 18 style. And so Martin, actually, who was looking like he was getting away from Orbit Pride, is now in court. I think Orbit Pride did have DRS down that huge straight. So an advantage of 8-9 tenths easily goes down to 2 or even, the car challenging you into turn 4. So that's the kind of nature of this track. And I think that, Martin really needs to get within DRS of Yi. But as I've found out previously in seasons gone by racing in this league, that especially around this track, if you... Oh, Brochek in the pits already at the end of lap 3. Well, that's his strategy that he usually goes for, isn't it, Fisi? Brochek pitting very early for a new set, I'm assuming, of prime tyres. And Yi carrying on, as most of the drivers actually carry on. So Brochek going for the track position, trying to get that little bit of an advantage so that Yi can't sit in the slipstream.
Yeah, there's only Brochek, only one more driver in the pits, which were one of the guys further back in the field. So, and Martin, crucially for him as well, has gotten himself within DRS range of Yi, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, he will have DRS. He's too far back though to have a challenge for position. As I'm looking back, and I think Limitless might be relatively close behind NLR Evo, going up the inside into turn 4 there. This time he's been a bit forceful with Evo, but leaves him a reasonable amount of room, and Limitless gets that position back. Not back actually, because he was never ahead of him, so he actually gets that position up to 4th. He's essentially 5th, given Brochek's early pit stop. So let's see, Brochek back there, I'm looking at the minimap. He's got clear air from what I can see. Good for him, of course, as NLR Ivano slightly under pressure from Leobot in the Toro Rosso. It's quite action-packed, but there is a bit of a gap now for Limitless to close, to get himself back up to those 3 cars ahead of him. As Matty, are you still here?
Just realised my microphone was muted and I was just having a chat to myself, Fisi, because I'm just a professional commentator.
Amazing,
Either way, we've got quite a few people diving into the pits at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see how much of an advantage Brochek gets with that undercut on the primes. And, well, we're about to find out as who's actually coming to the pits. We've got Martin carrying on.
He's in.
So Limitless is trying to get some sort of advantage by pitting a lap earlier than his rival Martin, is the only person he really cares about, isn't it, really? So Brochek looking like he's got an enormous margin. Yeah, him in P4. I'm pretty sure it is.
He is indeed. He's already up towards
he has got an enormous lead now over Limitless, who is in fact the next car. So Limitless is ahead of TSR Unleashed. Actually, no, that's fine, because Limitless was actually the next person on the track. But if you have a look at the lead that Brochek's got over Limitless, that is pretty enormous, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the kind of lead he has as the other guys.
Limitless is going to be under pressure from Unleashed.
From the Red Bull. He's going to look to the outside into turn 4. I don't think that's particularly going to work, or is it? As we look to the outside, Unleashed so close to getting some sort of side pod glitch there, but managing to get away with it.
Yeah, it was. It's a hard one to go through side by side, because the car on the inside would always end up understeering a little bit towards the outside. Unleashed maybe wouldn't have been too happy with the amount of room he was left there, but in the end, luckily, escapes from the side pod glitch and is still hassling Limitless there towards the end of the lap. And I assume now we'll be seeing, I'm seeing on the minimap, yeah, Martin goes into the pits, Yi as well, and also whoever was in 3rd. I can't remember right now.
Limitless could find himself possibly ahead of, well, he could possibly find himself in 2nd place, obviously on 1 lap older tyres than the guys in the pits at the moment, but it's going to be interesting to see where they feed out. But Brochek is going to have an enormous lead, but he's going to have 2 lap older tyres, and as we've seen in the races gone by, Brochek, despite getting that massive gap, then gets caught towards the end of the stint because of how old his tyres. And let's have a look who is in P2. It is Martin, and well, that's going to be crucial. I mean, Martin's ahead of Orbit Pride. He's got a lap over Limitless, who is in 4th place. And really, well, Martin, unless he has, a particularly bad race from here on in, looking really good to extend his championship lead.
Limitless really needs to make this pass now on Orbit Prime, and he does it easily with DRS. Orbit Prime does not come out close enough to Martin to get DRS here in the end. An easy pass there for Limitless.
It's crucial now, isn't it? It's crucial. Limitless hits the bollard. It's crucial for Limitless to get within DRS of Martin and potentially get ahead of him so that he can start to control the pace of Martin, because Martin will be quicker, especially in these next few laps. But right now, Limitless with his tyres up to temperature, and there won't be too much of a pace difference for the first couple of laps in this stint between the two. But Limitless really does need to make the most of this opportunity to catch his championship rival.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the most crucial part, like you said, to get into the DRS zone, because then even if you are on slightly worse tyres, you can use the DRS to kind of negate the disadvantage of tyres, and you get the advantage of the DRS instead. So he's pretty much on the cusp here, I would say, in terms of being a second behind. Be interested to see whether he has the DRS there.
Sorry, that Yee's crashed.
Oh.
He has crashed, so I can't see the chat. Sorry, guys. I know a lot of you have been spamming, but Yee has crashed because well, I've got it on the same screen, so that's why I can't see the Twitch chat. So Yee is all the way down in 10th place, and he's in last position at the moment. So Yee must have had some sort of incident. I'm not sure with who, and well, he's completely out of contention. He is miles back. In fact, he has got no chance.
Yeah, I'm looking on the minimap and I assume he's the guy then on the main straight now.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. I wonder what happens in him. I'm sure we'll find out that after the race. A bit hard to ask him while he's driving, of course. Yeah, I mean, he was close to Martin on the track, wasn't he? So might have had something going on with him. But Martin's still running fine, so he's the only one losing out, if that's the case. Or maybe it's just crashed by himself, maybe on the way into the pits or something. I don't really know. Either way, though,
it was Yee and Brochek fighting, Fisi. It wasn't
was
Yee and Martin. Yeah, it was Yee and
yeah,
Brochek
of course it
fighting
was.
for the lead. So I'm not sure if there was an incident between these two. But either way, Brochek is just driving away at the moment, out in the front.
No, it must have happened while after Brochek had pitted, because when Brochek went into the pits...
pitted at lap 3,
yeah, exactly. Maybe it's just crashed by himself, I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe he got caught in one of the curves and got thrown into the wall or something, but he lost a lot of time, so I don't think it's just a case of like crashing into the pits or anything, because I don't think he'd find himself that far back. So there must have been a serious incident. Who's the guy? Well, K Block's the guy ahead of him, and let's have a look and see. I'm just going to have a look at the race director and see how much time. Yeah, so he had it must have happened. He had a 1 minute 9.9 first sector on lap 5.
Huh.
So there you go. That's a pretty enormous amount of time to lose in the first sector. So I'm not sure what's gone on there, to be honest, because I'm just trying to think. Because he pitted and then he's had his incident in the first sector of lap 5. So he hasn't. So it's been arbitrary pit.
No, I don't think he pitted at that point. I think Brochek pitted in lap 4.
No, Brochek pitted at the end of lap 3.
Did he?
He pitted at the end of lap 4 because he's got a 1 minute 40.3.
By the way, Pride is just passing Limitless. They're back with the DRS. Limitless did not manage to get close enough to Martin to get the DRS advantage. So Martin has a gap now. And Limitless is stuck now in a scrap with Pride for third.
There you go. Yes, I know. It does seem like Yee had an incident, maybe coming out of the pits, in fact, because that's where his time's lost, was in the first sector of his outlap on his new set of tyres. So, and he hasn't had to pit after that, I don't think. So, well, very odd. We'll find out at some other point in the race, I'm sure. Well, after the race. So, either way, Brochek looking like he's pretty comfortable out front, but Martin definitely hunting him down, I think. The lead is coming down, from what I can see anyway, in terms of the mini-map difference. Yeah, no, the gap is definitely coming down. So Martin, with that 1 lap fresher tyres, looking like he could well challenge Brochek for the win here. And, well, Limitless is not going to be as close. He's not going to be able to challenge for the win, I don't think. Is Limitless? That's just... Oh, actually, no, sorry, Martin has 2 lap fresher tyres than Brochek. Yeah, that's why he's closing in so quickly. Whereas Limitless has 1 lap fresher than Brochek. So it's going to be interesting. But Limitless, again, it seems like it's already turning into damage limitation for him. And, well, he said he hadn't done much practice, but it didn't seem like Martin had either. Or maybe Martin did his practice at the start of the week. But either way, Limitless, it looks like he may well just be fighting for third position here. As I look behind Limitless, we have 2 cars going side by side. Leobot trying to defend from the Red Bull of TSR Unleashed. Yep, so here we go. Actually, it's Leobot that has the DRS, so it must have passed him before the DRS.
He did right at the side of the straight, because Unleashed went wide of the corner.
So Leobot up into 5th place, and it seems like Limitless is actually following Orbit Pride at the moment, deciding maybe to save a little bit of fuel. But at the same time, it's quite hard to follow a car through this middle sector, especially going through these hard right and left-handers. And, well, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out.
Yeah, It's yeah.
Oh, hold on, we got Orbit Pride running very wide indeed through that long right-hander, and well, I mean, he understeered like an absolute channel ferry there, did Orbit Pride, and now Limitless is all over the back of him, and both of them running wide again through there. So these guys, well, I think track limits is definitely a lenient one around here, especially from what I've been seeing for the first 9 laps at least. But either way, I think it's worth pointing out also that Martin is closing Brošek hand over fist at the moment. We may well see a change in the lead, although Brošek, I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's going to be a 3-stop strategy, purely because of how early Brošek pitted, unless, well, no, it must be a 3-stop strategy.
Yeah, I think so.
But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when Brošek next pits, because it seems like Brošek does seem to react to when sort of like situational, you know, kind of things going on around him, so he kind of pits, kind of panic pits almost sometimes when someone's catching him that quickly. So let's see if Brošek, who has definitely gone on to the sort of maybe a disadvantage strategy, if it's kind of fair saying that, because despite getting the track position and the lead that he had, you can just see how quickly Martin's been catching him.
Yep. So yeah, we just need to keep an eye on that gap really. You can see, yeah, actually, yeah, just look at the minimap. Martin's right behind him now, so I think he will get a big chance with the DRS on the next lap. I think I saw potentially a pass going on there. And our Evo's got himself ahead of Unleashed now, while Leobot in 5th has pulled out quite a gap on those two actually. So Leobot kind of streaking away from the mid-pack group at the moment, and Unleashed dropping back. So I'm now going to jump on board with Brošek, as he will have to defend from Martin imminently as we head on to the 11th lap of the race. He does not pit yet. As you said, he pitted on lap 3, which means that he had 27 laps to go. So I guess if he goes for the kind of synchronized strategy on the prime tires, he does 9 laps on each. Which would be on at the end of this lap, of course. So on next lap.
Yeah, it'll be next lap that he pits, it would be, I think. So Brošek's got another a lap of pain by the looks of things, unless he decides to go in now just to get rid of these tyres. But again, it's just going to mean he gets pain in the next stint instead. So it's going to be interesting to see what Brošek does. But either way, Martin looks like he will clear Brošek going into turn 4. And don't be surprised if Martin just streaks clear now. Because, I mean, right now, Martin does not have any kind of competition as Martin goes up the inside at turn 4. Can Brošek hang around the outside? He's going to try. And Brošek looks like he's going to actually stay ahead, although Martin using the rest of his cars now up the inside going into turn 5, decides kind of against it, but then started to stick his nose back in again. Brošek understeering because of the tyres, and Martin up the inside now at turn 6, and Brošek and Martin in the wall. Martin loses his front wing. Oh my God! Unbelievable scenes. Martin in the wall. His championship hopes have just been...
Where is he?
Diminished. In the wall. It's in P8. Martin and Brošek 7th and 8th. We now have a battle for the lead with Evo and Limitless. Martin has a puncture as well. Unbelievable.
I didn't even see, because from my camera angle, I just watched Brošek, and I didn't even see Martin go off.
Yeah,
so
Martin speared off to the right into the wall, lost his front wing, has a front puncture as well. Yeah. And by the way, my prediction, just saying, I mean, NLR Evo potentially winning with Limitless. Okay, but either way, Martin... Well, this has thrown the championship wide open.
It actually has. That's... Oh, my God. I was just so surprised when he said Martin's in the wall, because I didn't see it. So now, yeah, he's going to be way down the field, potentially towards the last place. That's Limitless now. How the tables have turned. Limitless now having a chance to challenge for P1 all of a sudden. As Orbit Pride got a good exit out of turn 3, but Limitless will have the DRS now coming down towards turn 4. Might run out of time before the braking zone. I think he will, but Limitless now, having seen Martin go off, I think he'll just be taking his time there and not do anything hastily to get past. Last thing he would want now, of course, is to get in an incident himself. Now he's suddenly been handed this position. So, can you just check where Martin is on the track?
Martin is probably, I think, going into turn 3 now, I would say. He's in 9th place. So I think he's maybe on the straight right now.
It's a big loss of points. I mean, he's luckily for him though, he quite crashed. I guess it's lucky that he crashed quite early on. But I mean,
he lost a huge amount of time. I think Martin can only really hope to maybe get 6th or 7th in this race now, I have to say, because I mean the guys at the front are far too close together to even think about challenging the top 6. So Martin, 7th place, I think, will be the most he can actually get from this race right now. But well, I mean, talking about the incident itself, stupid, really, from my opinion. And Martin, why would you try going up the inside at a corner that is most definitely single file, especially when you're winning the championship by 35 points.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a questionable decision. I mean, obviously they're racing and he wanted to get ahead because of Brochek's 2-lap tyre difference. But at the same time, but at the same time, you have to question Brochek turning in. I don't know why Brochek would even try to go side by side through there. Martin definitely had the corner. So at the same time, I'm kind of changing my mind as I talk about it. But thinking back to what actually happened, Brochek was a little bit silly turning in.
Yeah, obviously I didn't actually have the best camera angle for it because I was like literally sitting
you're a
on
damn
top.
cameraman. What are you doing?
I was literally sitting inside his right rear tire, right front tire. But so obviously I saw him just spinning off, but I didn't see how far like he was from the apex and position on the track relative to Martin. But yeah, as I said, it's certainly a hard corner to go side by side, and for both of them to even want to try it is a quite a silly thing to do, but of course, can this sacred F1 fan stop sending me messages? Thank you very much.
Just put it on busy, Fizzy. Don't worry.
But I'll have to take away the cameras for.
All you have to do is press start and then go to busy. It's not that bad.
So I'll do that while these guys are in the pits. I'll just take a pit stops along with Orbit Pride and Limitless, who are pitting from P1 and P2.
Okay, yeah. This is a good time to do it. Just put it on busy because some people were very keen on getting their name put on the screen for some reason. But either way, Orbit Pride will rejoin in first position, I think. And who is that coming down the straight, potentially to take away the lead from Orbit Pride? That is a Williams, I believe, of NLR Evo. Or maybe it's Yi. It can't be Yi.
I assume it's Evo.
It is Evo. Sorry, yeah, Evo now just behind Limitless, in fact. So Evo, did he pit the lap before?
I reckon he might have, yeah. I mean, must have, to be honest. I think.
Yeah, that's strange. So, Evo was fighting Limitless as well, wasn't he?
He was certainly in that top group.
Yeah.
So, seeing as he just come out down from the pit straight and he's just behind, he must have pitted already.
Very odd. Either way, so we've got a three-way fight for the lead at the moment, with Brochek in fourth place at the fourth place. So, Brochek, despite having that enormous impact, Martin came off a lot worse with the fact that he had a puncture and a front wing loss. I don't know if Brochek had a front wing loss. Didn't seem that way. But did he? I don't know, Fizzy. Did he have a front?
No, he had a massive spin, obviously, with the cycle glitch, but didn't hit any walls or anything.
Okay. Right. So Brochek is still with a chance of winning this race somehow after an enormous impact with Martin. Martin's in P8 at the moment. Brochek obviously pitting a few laps before, may not be able to challenge towards the end of his stint, but if he can get within the DRS train, then maybe there's a chance that he can stick with the top three. Either way, K-Block having a very boring afternoon in 10th place, Yi having a very, very boring afternoon in 9th, and then we have Martin in 8th place at the moment, and he has the natural pace to be able to catch the guys ahead, but his tyres just won't be in shape, because he pitted on the same lap as what Brochek was going to, so essentially he's on at least 1 or 2 lap older tyres than the guys ahead of him, and he has got a mountain to climb if he wants to get any better than 8th this afternoon.
Yeah, obviously it's not only lost him a lot of time, he's also thrown his strategy way out the window, because he obviously pitted quite late on the first stop to have the tyre advantage, which would have followed him throughout the race, but now that he was forced to pit 2 or 3 laps earlier than he would have, then as you said, that's going to be bad for him in his quest to catch back up, and he might run out of time with having to close such a big gap. But he still has a few cars to pass. So did you say he's still in? He's in 8th. Okay, yeah. So I'm sure he'll be trying to pass his teammate. He's his next target anyway. Lest F1 sitting in 7th. As we still focus though on the lead battle, top 3 very close together. Orbit Pride, who still hasn't won a race. Actually, I'm just gonna check quickly, because Orbit Pride has been fighting for the lead a few times this season. Remember Hungary, of course, and he was leading the first lap at Germany before crashing into the pit wall. But he is 10th in the championship. His best position was at Hungary when he got 3rd, but that's his only time on the podium. So Orbit Pride looking very good here. Although he runs wide now, though, on the first corner, Limitless, they're literally right behind him, might go up the inside. Oh, no, he waits for the DRS straight, probably a wise move, to be honest. No need to do anything stupid up into there when he knows he's gonna get DRS. on the next straight, and this should be a pretty straightforward pass for Limitless. Question really is whether NLR Evo behind can take any advantage. Now he's too far back, so Limitless up the inside, having to defend a little bit. Orbit Pride maybe thinking of going around the outside. Instead, he tries to cut back and get a better exit, but Limitless is got his number and takes P1 in the race for the first time.
Yeah, so Limitless into P1 after the incident. Obviously, this would have been for P3 had it not been for Broshek and Martin having that collision. But right now, Limitless seeming like he has more of the champion's mind than his championship rival Martin, who decided to go for a very audacious move, which did not pay off. I mean, it could have easily paid off. He could have got into the lead and then pulled away, and I think it would have been a very boring race for Martin. Instead, Limitless is now in the lead of this race. Martin down in 8th, and if they were to finish in these positions, Fizzy, Limitless has a little bit of a lag spike there. If they were to finish in these positions, Fizzy, the championship difference will be down to 14 points.
Wow. That is a big shift. That is absolutely huge.
And I mean, for the league, game on. How good is that going to be to watch for the next few races?
Yeah. It's kind of for the viewers' sake. Yeah, sure, it's a great thing. Obviously, Limitless did have that disconnection earlier in the season, which cost him 25 points. Potentially, well, you don't know if he would have won that race, of course. But,
hold on. We've got a change of the lead, Fizzy. We've got Orbit Pride retaking the lead with that Sauber. And, well, Limitless isn't going to be able to win this race as easily as he may well have hoped. And, well, with the DRS and how powerful it is, really, Limitless just needs to pick his moment. Maybe just before the pit stops, maybe just after, or maybe at the end of the race. Who knows? But Limitless, either way, will be having his thinking cap on to make sure that he doesn't have an incident like he did with that Martin had. And, well, I've also opened a betting shop, so guys, in the chat, I'm taking bets on. Or what do you think the odds are of Martin deactivating his Twitter after this race?
Oh no, not again. It'd be interesting to see, to be honest, whether first of all, whether there will be a Stews inquiry about that incident with Broshek and Martin, and if so, which one of them are going to make it? Because obviously both of them lost time. Martin obviously lost a lot more.
I don't think there's a stewards panel for that because both of them got blown up. It's not exactly Broshek's fault that Martin ended up in the wall, but Limitless is practically pushing Orbit Pride into turn 1. So didn't decide. He didn't want to get past into turn 1.
A little love tap there.
Make him vulnerable down towards turn 4 again. But well, it seems like these three. It seems like NLR Evo just sitting very pretty on after his win last time out. And well, who knows? But Evo looking like the dark horse here. Looking like he doesn't have as much pace as the two in front. As Limitless looks like he's going to go for the lead once again up the inside towards turn 4. He will have saved some of his curves as well. And, well, it looks like the Sauber of... Oh, my gosh, actually, Limitless getting a little bit out of shape, which is going to make them go side by side into turn 5. And,
no.
Is there going to be any contact? Yeah. No, there is not this time round. So Limitless managing to just about stay ahead. Evo just sitting in 3rd place, praying for another incident like Martin and Broshek had, so that he can streak off and win, I am sure. But either way, Broshek sitting just about in 4th place, although I'm looking behind and he's running off the track. LS F1's destroyed his vehicle at the same place that Martin and Broshek had their incident. So that is another place for Martin, we have to point out. So Martin will be up to 7th place now after a very uncharacteristic error from Leicester F1. This is probably one of the least likely tracks for someone to explode their car. But either way, Leicester F1 must have hit some sort of curb and just been thrown off into the wall. But unfortunate for him. But either way, we actually have Broshek catching the top 3 now. Despite the tyre difference, Broshek, from his pace in qualifying, is actually catching up to the top 3.
He is, and yeah, he might even have DRS here actually, although he misses the apex slightly of turn 3. I'm going to jump back towards NLR Evo, who is close behind Orbit Pride, although obviously not close enough to overtake, and Orbit Pride has lost a bit of ground on Limitless as well. Not going to put him under pressure on this occasion. So this is the first time in a few laps that we haven't seen a pass here down the DRS straight. As Broshek, though, as you said, he was closing the gap, although after missing the apex there in turn 3, he's lost a lot of ground all of a sudden, and then suddenly he doesn't look close to getting DRS at all. So, and he's actually under pressure from Leobot in 5th as well, who took a bit of grass there. Takes corner quite slowly, to be honest, messing up his line a little bit in the dirty air behind Brošek. A very difficult track to be in the dirty air. Obviously, the second and third sectors are just completely downforced.
A bit of a mistake, actually, from Orbit Pride has allowed Limitless to get a little bit of a gap coming into these last few corners. Orbit Pride missing the apex once again, and I think Limitless might well be outside of DRS range here, or very close indeed. So let's have a look. Going around the final corner now. Will Orbit Pride get DRS, which is going to be crucial? No, he does not. So Orbit Pride out of DRS range, and this is Limitless's chance. This is the thing I was talking about. One opportunity for Limitless to get away, and this is it. And Orbit Pride is all over the place. I think his tyres have gone. And I think, Orbit Pride did pit a lap before Limitless, I'm not sure. But either way, he's either being very scruffy or his tyres are going off the cliff. One or the other. But right now, this is the chance that Limitless needed to pull away and win this race.
Yeah, I think Orbit Pride was the man who pitted on the same lap as Limitless. I seem to remember they came out of the pits together.
Yeah, I thought so too, yeah.
Evo was the one who pitted the lap earlier, but he's looking better than Orbit Pride at the moment. And it's actually going up the inside into turn 4 air, making a move. Orbit Pride looks like he locked up a little bit, but gets the cutback. A great exit for Orbit Pride. Very good racecraft to get to nail the exit there and get back into second place. Great way to defend as well, and good clean driving. So Orbit Pride still hanging on to that second place, but the scrapping won't have saved them any time, certainly. Limitless getting away out in front. So, and maybe... Oh, no, he's not helping Brošek to catch up because he's not even in P4 anymore. Has Brošek pitted, maybe? Or has he just been passed by Lee? But let's have a look and see. No, he's just been passed.
He's
so
been
Lee
passed, yep.
Legitimately up to P4 now. Brošek right behind still, though, so he's still in the mix. I think both of these guys...
Limitless going very wide through the penultimate corner. A massive mistake from Limitless there is going to maybe enable... Oh! Contact! Oh my days, what is the Williams doing there? Just completely smashing into the back of Orbit Pride. I think Orbit's been forced to go into the pits there. I don't think he wanted to, but either way, NLR Evo smashing into the back of Orbit Pride and forcing both of them into the pits when Limitless seemed like he made a huge mistake into that penultimate corner of lap 20. And well, I mean, this is going to probably change the lead, I'm not going to lie, because of obviously the undercut. But, well, very strange.
Ooh, as Yi is in the mix as well, coming around turn 1. I don't know, is he on the same strategy? Has he not pitted yet, or is he actually...
He has pitted twice. No, he's not.
Okay, so he's not... he still has to pit, okay, so... although he's been a bit of an obstacle for Brošek, who has to pass him. He's taking a defensive line, although... And both of them have DRS, but Brošek with more speed down the straight. Though he's not actually giving up, even though he is apparently on a different strategy. Now though he breaks a little bit earlier, is probably just just making the right choice. Really doesn't really need an incident, considering everything that's happened with him this season. And
did Brošek hit on the same lap? Sorry, as the two guys in front of him. Oh my God, Brošek! Come on, track limits, mate. Jesus Christ, that was horrendous. Either way, Brošek. Well, it seems like track limits have just gone out the window for this league, around here at least.
Around here, yeah.
But that's just my observations that I've found. But either way, Brošek has taken the last few corners pretty nicely and actually caught up to the back of Orbit Pride, who seems to be all over the place at the moment. Can't seem to keep the car on the track, and this is definitely helping Limitless, who's gone a lap extra. And in fact, 2 laps extra. Has he? No, he's gone into the pits now. He's coming out of the pits now.
There's a few guys coming out.
And he's going to be in the lead as well. So Limitless, with a lap fresher tyres as well, has somehow gained time on the cars behind, which is crazy.
It is. Limitless is suddenly looking very, very strong. Of course, he qualified in P6. Although there was time to find his lap, because I know he messed up a little bit on the curb on the penultimate corner. But Limitless, yeah, in the race, he's just taking advantage then of the situation with Martin, of course, and looking very calm and collected right now, while Pride has his hands full with NLR Evo still. And still no DRS for Pride either. And they've got Brošek for company as well. And yeah, I think these three might have pitted on the same lap, and I'm completely sure on Brošek. But certainly Evo and Orbit Pride on the same strategy, even though Orbit Pride potentially weren't planning to. Bit of a... Yeah, to be honest, I think he was just... he was planning to go in the pits when he tapped the back of Orbit Pride, and just didn't really account for the fact that Orbit Pride might have wanted to carry on and brake earlier for the corner, which he obviously should have. But luckily, both of them kind of came away with it, even though Orbit Pride might have been forced onto a different strategy than he actually wanted.
Right now, Orbit Pride is gifting Limitless this victory. He is not driving at all well, is Orbit Pride. And look at the cars behind them. He is literally holding up Broshek and NLR Evo right now. And I'm not sure why Evo is not actually just going for the move down towards turn 4. And Orbit Pride cutting turn 1 monstrously. Absolutely disgusting. Either way, now into turn 3 we go. Oh, we actually have a move up the inside from NLR Evo, who is now going to be side by side. Orbit Pride obviously getting a better exit because Evo was caught on the inside of the apex. But either way, it must be. Actually, Orbit Pride might lose 2 positions here. As here we go, NLR Evo going to the inside. Broshek in the slipstream as well, also on the inside. Here we go down towards turn 4. Please, lads, no contact. Please, let's have a look and see NLR Evo and Broshek getting very close indeed. However, Orbit Pride saved a bit of his curse and is coming back at Broshek. Orbit Pride back up into 3rd place. Broshek trying to stick out the inside and does. And actually takes 3rd position away from Orbit Pride. Very close racing and actually good racing rather than what we saw earlier on. And Orbit Pride on pace deserves to be where he is now, which is P4, because he was definitely holding up NLR Evo especially. And can he do anything about Limitless? We will find out and very shortly. And actually, we have another person of Leobot right behind Orbit Pride as well, as Leobot goes off to Narnia at, just before the penultimate corner. So right now we have a 4-way scrap for 2nd place with Limitless out in front.
Yeah, that's it's working out perfectly for Limitless, with these guys just battling away, because that's definitely costing them time. While Limitless is just able to focus purely on the track, getting the lap time on the board, and get those 25 points that he really needs in this situation to take advantage of Martin. Is Martin still in 7th?
It's worth pointing out Martin, well, he's in 8th now, but he's just got into the pits. Martin is not getting any better than 7th today. Unless someone crashes in front of him, he is finishing in 7th place. So, right now, Limitless could close the gap by 19 points. So it'll be down to 16 points going into the next race with 3 races to go. And well, if Limitless wins all the races from then on in, he's the champion.
Broshek, contact with NLR Evo, just dive bombing up the inside. And now he's waiting for him, so Broshek admitting immediately that he was at fault for that contact with Evo.
Broshek's having an absolute torrid afternoon today, isn't he? He's having contact with everybody. He's taken out Martin, he's taken out NLR. I mean, that's annoying, because NLR Evo has driven really well. I think I'm a secret fan of NLR Evo. Either way, yeah. I mean, Evo's definitely got the better pace of all these guys. And Broshek, did he make a mistake? Because I actually missed the actual. I'm assuming because he waited that he hadn't.
Yeah, that's why. That's why he was. He was obviously fighting with Evo for 2nd place, but messed up. Pushed Evo way wide on turn 4, and when he ended up waiting for him, he got passed by Orbit Pride and Leobot.
Also worth pointing out that your man Leobot is now challenging for 2nd place as we go towards turn 1. Limitless looking like he is very much on his way for the first win for quite a while. I'm not sure when Limitless last won, but
I can check quickly.
Either way, he's looking very confident and very comfortable out in front. And Leobot, who is on the podium at the moment as it stands, may well be able to make it one step better as we now opens DRS, uses the rest of his curves, so he's not saving any curves for the exit of turn 4, and he is going to fly past Orbit Pride, who ducked straight back into the slipstream of the Toro Rosso man, but cannot do anything about it. I don't think he'll have enough curves to come back at him. Let's have a look and see. No, it looks like Leobot is definitely maintaining 2nd place for now, with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, Leobot suddenly bringing himself in the mix. He was kind of sitting behind the whole battling group for the majority of this race. But oh my word, Orbit Pride, that's not a line you want to take, mate. Although we definitely lost time from it, because Leobot is now building a tiny bit of a gap. So let's see if NLR Evo can get any closer. He definitely is closing on Orbit Pride, who's once again having a very rough middle sector. Evo actually not tracky stand in that corner, so that's good to see. And didn't quite work out with your prediction of Evo winning the race, but he's certainly put himself in the mix once again, which obviously, apart from the 2 wins he had at Monaco and last time in Suzuka, he hasn't actually really been in any other fights for the top positions. But yeah, good to see he's still on the form that he left off with at Suzuka, even though it's a bit further down. But just to go back to the point you were on about with Limitless' last win, that was 3 races ago at Singapore, when also Martin had a mistake, although that was completely self-inflicted on that occasion. rather than now where it was a bit of contact rather than own mistake. I'm now seeing potential battle again with Leebot having to defend from Orbit Pride now. Side by side into turn 4. Can Orbit Pride get one of his trademark great exits out of turn 4? He gets a good one, not quite as good as he has earlier in the race. So Leebot hangs on to second place still. And this battle is still 4.5 laps to go, Matt. And I think this four-way scrap will just continue raging on.
I think it will, yeah, definitely. So it has become a four-way scrap again. As it did seem like for a minute it was a second and third battle, then a battle for fourth behind, but it seems like Orbit Pride is struggling at the moment, and this is Leobot's chance to pull away as he runs a little bit wide, and well, it looks like NLR Evo very much wanting to get past Orbit Pride as quickly as possible, giving him a little bit of a dummy into the penultimate corner. And well, here we go, last corner we go, and Leobot definitely got a nice little gap. I don't think it was enough to get out of DRS. No, it was not. Orbit Pride still gets DRS crucially, but I think this is a battle. It's just kind of survival for Orbit Pride right now, who does not seem to be in the zone at all this afternoon, but somehow mixing it with the fastest guys in this league. And well, we're about to find out if we can see. Oh, so Orbit Pride locks up huge amount into that hairpin, which is going to give NLR Evo a huge opportunity to get past, because Orbit Pride, although he may have DRS, does he have DRS? Yes, he does. He doesn't have the slipstream, which NLR Evo has just dipped out of, and here we go. NLR Evo up the inside, up to P3. Nice cough, Matt. And into turn 4 we go. NLR Evo hitting the apex nicely. Orbit Pride actually sliding off the curb, and Broshek is not there to make a good use of that. So Orbit Pride, after that mistake on the curb, stays in 4th position for now as well. NLR Evo taking some seriously creative lines there, and Orbit Pride understeering a lot.
Oh, he's under pressure.
Give Broshek an opportunity around the outside. Through this long right-hander, Orbit Pride will surely be the favourite to keep 4th position, and he does. So Broshek understeering, trying to go around the outside there on the marbles, and that's not going to work unless you've got pretty much fresh tyres. But Broshek looking like he wants to get something better than 5th place this afternoon. And well, it seems like Leobot looks like he has an opportunity now, as he will have DRS as well on the back marker, although it'll be a very short DRS. I'm sure he would have probably hoped to have caught him at turn 3, but either way, the back marker of K Block, who must have had an absolutely atrocious race to get lapped, gets out of the way nice and easy, and we are 2 laps away from the finish. Limitless out in front, looking like he is going to be mounting a serious title challenge within the next 3 races. With the next 3 races to go.
Yeah, this result will literally just put his championship back on track when it was looking very, very doom and gloom, you have to say, with a 35-point gap going into this race. But given that incident with Martin and Broshek, which I guess will be interesting to look back on from their point of view anyway, if they do post up their footage, yeah, he's just taking advantage of that fully. He's got a great gap out in front and is not looking under pressure whatsoever. Leebot actually building a little gap to NLR Evo now as well. And looking behind, I think if we are going to see an overtake in the last couple of laps, it might be potentially Broshek on Orbit Pride. Orbit Pride has been looking very scrappy in recent laps anyway, taking some weird lines here and there as Broshek is all over him, going to the penultimate corner now, and has to pretty much lift there to not hit the back of Orbit Pride. And now trying to get a good exit, but can't really do it. It was kind of blocked on the apex there by by Orbit Pride's car. So he gets the DRS of course, but not able to take advantage. So 2 laps to go now. So Broshek will have a chance on Orbit Pride with DRS. Evo might have a chance at Leobot as well, as I think those two have closed up a little bit, but Broshek now has completely ruined his chances by locking up and going way out on the marbles, ruining his tyres a little bit more than they need to be.
Yep, so it seems like the battle, although Evo didn't actually get DRS on Leobot, which is crucial. So Leobot, if he can just do 2 more consistent laps, is going to finish in 2nd place here, which I'm sure he was not expecting going into this race. And I'm sure Limitless wasn't expecting to have the gap that he does out in front after doing the minimal practice that he has done for this race. And I'm sure he did not expect to be closing the gap to Martin by 19 points all the way down to just 16 by the end of this race. So, well, it throws the title completely wide open, and I'm hoping we are going to have a finale where we have two battling for the championship and hopefully quite close in the standings. That's my dream anyway. But Learbot getting a little bit out of shape just before the penultimate corner there, and looking like he's pushing really hard, but also maybe getting slightly nervous as Evo is definitely closing in and will most definitely have DRS on Learbot as we're about to start the final lap. Learbot, I don't know why he's weaving. Either way, Learbot was just
trying to break that slipstream.
Yeah, he was weaving as if he'd finished the race. I don't know if he thought that was the last lap or something, but Learbot, we've got one more lap here, mate, so I'm not sure why he was weaving going over the line.
Counting isn't his best skill.
Oh, God, he's probably thinking, what have I done? But either way, Learbot now is going to have to try and defend from Evo, who is in his slipstream and has DRS as well. Has Learbot used all of his curves? I'm not sure. I'm going to go on board with him now. He's used all of his curves now. Evo going to the inside as we come down towards turn 4. Who is going to come out on top for this second place? They're side by side now. Learbot going for the undercut, getting slightly caught on the Williams' rear end, but actually getting a much better exit. And Learbot back into second place in that Toro Rosso, and that is going to mean a huge amount if he can continue, and it is pretty much single file from here on in, Fisi. And I think Learbot, well, that was fantastic defending to be able to get the undercut, but he goes quite wide. And Evo goes even wider as we go through this long right-hander. And, well, this is the only real battle to watch at the moment. And it seems like if Learbot could just keep it on the track, he's going to come home with 18 points here for the Indian Grand Prix. But either way, I think we need to move to the race leader himself, as we're about to finish the race with him. Actually, I can't get on board with him for some reason, but either way, he comes around the final corner. Tiro Limitless wins the Indian Grand Prix. Bet he didn't expect that a few laps into the race, but either way, he takes home 25 points. Learbot is going to come home in second. Evo in third place. And, well, Martin actually was catching... Nope, that's K-Block. No, he's catching K-Block, so that wasn't even for anybody else. But Yi was actually not too far behind Martin in the end. So Yi must have been on a pretty good strategy with his fresh tyres at the end. But Martin, home in 7th place. And Fisi, we've got 13 seconds. Take us through it.
Oh, God. Limitless closing the gap a lot to Martin with a great win here. Learbot taking his second podium of the season. Evo his third. And Orbit Pride getting fourth. Brochek at least. Martin, Yi, K-Block, and Lest F1 didn't finish the race. So
next mate, Fisi Pound 91.
Oh, you beat me. Fuck.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that was interesting. Here we go then, Limitless celebrating his win. And what did you say the gap would be now in the chapter? 16 points?
16
with
points.
Martin finishing 7th. So that's a huge moment for the championship, that incident that Martin had with Brochek. And I guess we'll have to wait and see what comes of that, if anything.
Yeah.
I'm sure both of them will have some kind of comments on what's happened there. But yeah, just a very interesting race. Obviously, once Limitless got on the front, the battles were provided by the guys fighting for second. And Yi managed to get through the race, we think, without an incident with another car, although we had some kind of incident. I put him way back.
We weren't on board with him for 30 laps, so we'll wait for everybody else to say it. But guys, who was your driver of the day? Pop it in the Twitch chat right now. Let me know who you think was the driver of the day. For me personally, I think the driver of the day was Learbot. He kept out of a lot of incidents that were going on in front of him. He kept it on the track, and I think he was kind of just waiting and just biding his time, and then came home with second place. I don't know about you, Fisi.
Yeah, you know, that's what you can do sometimes. You don't really need to battle too hard throughout the race, as long as you can keep up with the guys ahead of you. And yeah, Evo at stages of the race were just sitting back and waiting for a battle. He obviously got himself very much involved towards the end of the race, and Learbot as well. So yeah, just a very well worked race for both of those two guys, really, to get on the podium. Yeah,
definitely. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in to this F1 2013 AOR League, the Indian Grand Prix. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, me and Fisi both very much enjoy giving you this this production to you guys every Sunday evening. We'll be back next Sunday, won't we, Fisi, at 8 PM GMT as per usual, and that will be for
the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Never been to Abu Dhabi.
Sunsets.
So there you go. So.
Yeah, you got.
I've got
close up track knowledge for that. Yeah.
So, but either way, guys, thank you very much for watching. In terms of, well, actually, next Sunday. Let me think. Next Sunday is fine because I'm going to the beta test on Monday. That's fine.
Are you actually? Because Limitless mentioned something about him maybe not being there on Sunday because of the beta test.
Oh, actually, no. Hold on.
So.
No. no, Limitless isn't going to be there for the next race.
Oh, there. I mean, apparently
Because-
there's quite a few drivers that won't be there. So
Well, yeah,
I don't know
because-
if there will be potentially a delayed race or something. But for now, the next race is scheduled next Sunday. But yeah, I guess we'll have to just wait and see whether anything comes of that. It's a bit of a
me, Limitless, and Alex Gillen are going out clubbing on
exactly.
the Friday and Saturday beforehand. So I'm assuming Limitless isn't going to go home for the Sunday to race and then come back for the beta test on Monday. But okay,
So he's been put in a position, if the race goes ahead next Sunday, that he's going to choose between beta testing F1 2016 or potentially winning the AOR Championship.
well, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Martin decides to race for that, or if he has a little break as well, so that it's fair going into the last two races. Who knows? But Martin could actually all but clinch it if he wins the next race and Limitless doesn't turn up. But let's hope that they stay on an even platform to the end of the season.
Indeed. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to see throughout the week what happens with that, and maybe, presumably you'll see us, at least me, here next week for Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
But if something happens, then of course follow us on Twitter to know that.
Indeed. Follow both of us on Twitter at FisiFan91 and at xMattyG. So guys, thank you very much for watching this live stream. We will see you next week. Either me, actually it won't be me, it'll be Fisi. And we will see you very soon. Thank you very much, Fisi.
Yeah, thank you much for your amazing commentary as always, and see you all next time.
See you guys soon. Bye-bye.